Looking to take your racing to the next level? You need speed and you need style. At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we'll help you hit the track with total confidence. We provide race-winning setups for all three eNASCAR series, Cup, Xfinity, and trucks, plus a huge variety of asphalt oval cars. We've also brought that performance to the dirt. Winged and non-winged sprint cars, micro sprints, dirt midgets, all built by racers who know how to win. And now, get the perfect look. We offer professional wraps and graphics with Tier 1 wraps. Multiple feature artists make it easy to find a design to fit your exact needs and budget. Get what you need when you need it with individual setup purchases, or get full weekly access with a Tier 1 subscription. Tier 1 Setup Shop. You're more than a customer, you're part of the team.
This isn't just another sim race, this isn't just another online league, and this isn't just another trophy on a shelf. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Drivers choose the charity. Talent chooses the winner. The culture is strong, but the competition is stronger. Most events focus on just one cause, not here. Each driver selects a charity to race for, leaving dozens of causes in contention as drivers fight for a place in the top 5.
Think you've got what it takes to join the Charity Cup Series? Find a cause you believe in and buckle up. This is more than your everyday sim racing experience. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Real quick, you both stop the real quick cut. Double check the steering wheel. Roll.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Nice and smooth. Let's get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
It's too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Hello, and welcome here to Eldora Speedway for the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series here at Eldora for the Tommy Gun Shootout at Eldora, presented by No Limit Racing. I want to give a big thank you to all the partners and sponsors making this happen. I want to give a big thank you to all their partners and sponsors: 51 Speed Performance, Henderson Amusement, CDM Motorsports, Infamous Sim Shots, Tadpole Racing League, Tommy Gun Customs, TNT Racing, Smith Deadly Designs, and big thank you to all our partners and sponsors here at Fearless Broadcasting. Big thank you to Push the Edge, Tier 1 Setup Shop, Admin Box, Juicy Spider Studios, Puffy Swag Shop, Goose's Rattle Can Shop, Fearless Enterprise, Fearless Motorsports, and of course, Fearless Broadcasting. Thank you guys for having me up in the booth. Greg Thielsen up here, joined by a special guest, Kian Fry, joining me up here in the booth. You got me, Kian?
Yeah, I got you. What's up, buddy?
Ready for an exciting night of racing here at Eldora with the No Limit Racing League and the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series. We got a few minutes left here in practice, about 5 minutes remaining. We're taking a look around here at a few of the drivers, getting a few practice laps. Looks like no cars out on track currently. They may. Nope, no cars that I can see. Do you see any, Kian? I don't.
At the moment, I believe they are still having their drivers' meeting.
Copy that. All right, so waiting for those drivers to get that drivers meeting complete here. Let's see if I can get us down into a turn. I can't now because nobody's on track, but let's pull up our race info here real quick. Unfortunately, a little harder to read from up here, but a 1.44 mile racetrack here. I think that's a 3/8 mile here at Eldora. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That sounds about right.
I think. But looks like those Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stocks about to begin rumbling here at Eldora, bringing the heat. It looks like well over 40 cars in attendance here tonight. So it's definitely going to be a packed racetrack. Everybody battling for that track position here tonight. You got any predictions for tonight here, Kian?
Well, I can't really predict who's going to come out on top, but what I can tell you is that since there's so many cars and there is money on the line, I'm fairly confident there's going to be a lot of beating and banging, especially at a track as wide as Eldora, where it gives you more room for a slide job. But as the race goes on, try and keep a lookout for the guys who start ripping the top, because even in these street stocks at a track like Eldora, if you're not able to rip the top and ride the cushion after the track rubber's out, you're going to find yourself at the rear real fast.
Yeah, getting that car moved up to that top line, keeping the momentum up in these street stocks. Definitely going to be some of the keys here tonight. Definitely going to be down a little bit lower here on the start during these heat races and the concies. But I do expect that berm to get pushed up and those drivers almost out to that wall at least in 3 and 4. 1 and 2, I know they tend to stay a little bit lower here at Eldora, but yeah, I do expect those drivers just about up at the wall at the end of the feature, I would say. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Let's go ahead and pull up those practice results so far. So far, Kevin Horner out on top in that 121 machine. Dakota Proud sitting in second in the 36 car. Cody Darnell, Jordan Gage, and Derek Darnell rounding out our top 5. Carson Cordley, Cameron Stefensky, Cody McDonald, Hadley Boyce, and Jacob Harrell are top 10. Let's introduce some of these drivers here up to the top 20 there, Kian.
All right. Hold on, let me pull up my board. There we go. Let's see. We got Justin Henderson in the 63, Tim Taylor in the 99, Landon Falkenberg in the 021, another Jacob Stefanski in the 37, Shane Matthews in the 97, Dustin Burchett in the 75, Stephen Barrag in the 18, and Zachary Martin in the 04.
Little run through of that top 20 here in practice, getting ready for qualifying to roll over here very soon. While they go and roll over to qualifying, or over to the heat, sorry, no qualifying here tonight. Going to be doing a pill draw and straight into the heat. So right now, I'm guessing those drivers doing the pill draw. We got about a minute and a half left. Yeah, okay. Minute and a half left here in practice. No more drivers going to be pulling out. So let's go ahead and do a side-by-side ads real quick as they roll over into those first heats. Once they get cars back out on track, we will be back here with the action, and we will return momentarily. Till then, check out some of our partners and sponsors. Thank you.
Looking to take your racing to the next level? You need speed and you need style. At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we'll help you hit the track with total confidence. We provide race-winning setups for all 3 eNASCAR series, Cup, Xfinity, and trucks, plus a huge variety of asphalt oval cars. We've also brought that performance to the dirt. Winged and non-winged sprint cars, micro sprints, dirt midgets, all built by racers who know how to win. And now, get the perfect look. We offer professional wraps and graphics with Tier 1 wraps. Multiple feature artists make it easy to find a design to fit your exact needs and budget. Get what you need when you need it with individual setup purchases, or get full weekly access with a Tier 1 subscription. Tier 1 Setup Shop. You're more than a customer, you're part of the team.
This isn't just another sim race, this isn't just another online league, and this isn't just another trophy on a shelf. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Drivers choose the charity. Talent chooses the winner. The culture is strong, but the competition is stronger. Most events focus on just one cause, not here. Each driver selects a charity to race for, leaving dozens of causes in contention as drivers fight for a place in the top 5.
Think you've got what it takes to join the Charity Cup Series? Find a cause you believe in and buckle up. This is more than your everyday sim racing experience. This is the Charity Cup Series.
And welcome back here to Eldora. Heat Race 1 about to kick off here. Looking forward to an exciting race out here for Heat Race number 1. Let's pull up our starting grid here. Roll through our grid. Starting off on that lead, Kevin Horner. Out front, Brian Gunderson in P2 on row 1. We've got Haley Boyce and Caleb Myers in row 2. Not quite sure why it's just giving me rows, but that's all right. James Gray and Chase DeRochi there in row 3. A lot of great looking race cars out here. Zachary Gay and Evan Stefanski, excuse me. Got Jordan Gage and Zachary Martin there in row 5. Actually, I don't think it's giving me the right one. It's not. So we got Brian Gunderson, Caleb Myers, Evan Stefanski, Chase DeRochi, Derek Darnell, Zachary Martin. Pace truck about to pull off here. Getting ready to go. Green flag. This one will work here. There's our driver lineup. Sorry about that. Didn't want to work with me. Getting ready to go. Green flag here. Next time by. Here for the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series, the Tommy Gun Shootout at Eldora about to kick off. Brian Gunderson, Caleb Myers bringing us to this green flag out in the air for the first heat race here. Side by side in the back of the field there, that 04 to the very bottom of the racetrack, looking to move forward up 2 spots already.
There's already quite a bit of jostling. I can see that towards the back of the 86 has his front end dented in already. He's already buck drafting people.
Looks like we're almost 3 wide there, coming through turns 1 and 2 side by side. Almost 4 wide. A little bit of door beating and banging there for that second spot. That's the battle for second, the 04 and 66 of Jeffrey Hyatt, Zachary Martin. They're battling it out. The battle heating up there back in the back of the pack.
A lot of these guys are fighting in the 08, the green, or the 8, sorry. He's just running away with it right now.
As we see a little bit of that sheep's foot action, jumping down to that sheep's foot cam. The field blasting through turns 1 and 2 here. And 5 laps remaining left here. Side by side in the back, Caleb Myers in that 01.
They're around.
Everyone able to keep it straight. I don't know how. Kean, I have no idea how all those cars just stayed straight.
I don't know how either, but the 99 does not have a front end. It is completely ripped off.
That 99, Tim Taylor there with that front bumper. Dragging there on the clay here in Eldora. Definitely seeing better days as we get 2 to go. Coming to the line, that number 80, Brian Gunderson, out front, the battle for the lead. The number 66, Jeffrey Hyatt, trying to make his way out front here and be the first race winner, heat winner here for the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series here for the Tommy Gun Shootout at Eldora. Coming to the white flag here. Ian, take me to that white flag.
1 to go. The 66 is on the inside of the 80. almost pulled off a slide jump, but he's just gonna door him. 80's taking it to the 80's taking it to the top.
Can he get it done? The number 80 on the outside.
Ooh,
Brian
contact.
Gunderson. The 66, Jeffrey Hyatt, looks like he will be our Heat Race 1 winner here for the Tommy Gunn shootout. Good job by that number 66, taking it home here on top. Good looking hot rod out there. Rolling over to that Heat Race 2 here. Let's see if I can get it to pop up. I know this way will work. Should work. So everybody grids up. Heat Race 2 about to kick off. What do you think? Heat Race 1, a barn burner there. So much excitement. Can't wait till we add a few more cars there on the racetrack.
Oh, absolutely. Big thing to mention. I don't know if we went over this already, but after each heat, only the top 3 advance to the feature. So everyone else is gonna have to go through the alphabet soup, if there is that tonight.
I think only a consolation race here tonight. It looks like we're doing the pill draw heats, so everybody just lining up kind of where they're at. Nope, it's not going to pull up my grid for me. That's okay. Everybody just kind of lining up where they at, I believe. And then we get into Consi and then the feature. 5-minute warm-up there throughout the middle, so we'll do a little commercial break there after the heats, or after the Consi. So we'll go straight through the heats and the Consi, take a little 5-minute break, take a check out of our partners, and then we'll get into that feature race here. Looking forward to it. 65 laps around this racetrack. Gonna be an exciting race here with the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series. It's Tommy Gunn shootout at Eldora, the season opener. Gonna be a lot of fun. 3 wide up there. Well, I don't know what they're doing here under pacing. Looks like they're getting it figured out there. That's 73 of Johnny Katz. Out front, Cameron Stefanski. In the second spot, Colton Wilson, Tony Weed, Landon Falkenberg, Nicholas Mole, Stephen Burrow, and Justin Henderson in this Heat Race 2. About to take it to green. Cameron Stefanski and Johnny Cates leading them off here into turn 1, side by side. The 2 of Nicholas Mole making some early contact there. 3 wide down the backstretch, 4 wide.
4 wide again.
5. Side by side, the battle heats up for that front spot. The 73 Johnny Katz trying to get around Cameron Stefanski there on the bottom. That 73 trying to get it done, just not enough. A little bit too much angle. Definitely lost some momentum there in 1 and 2 as it stacks up the back of the field. Only 3 moving on this battle for the transfer spot. That 73 dropping back there. The 45 Tony Weed jumping up to second, securing himself a transfer position.
You can kind of tell as the contact. 73's around. 73's around. Not quite in the wall.
Sideways. Again, all the cars able to keep it straight. Wow, what a great job by those drivers, able to keep it from coming all the way around, keeping that green flag out. Cameron Stefanski in that 02 still out front. Tony Weed sitting in second. That battle for the transfer spot. Justin Henderson in that 63 battling to keep that number 2 and Nicholas Mole behind him there. 4 to go.
I mean, you can already tell even in these heat races, the high line is starting to get more dominant. The guys that are running the bottom are struggling a lot more. At this point, the only reason you'd be down there is either to do a slide job or just keeping your car safe for the next heat because you got too much damage.
Definitely a few grooves being used out here. I don't know if that bottom is working, just as Kian was talking about. Yeah, I think that top side definitely with the momentum. As we see, out of 4, a little bit of a slick forming. So that's going to be an interesting spot to keep our eye on.
2 of them in the wall. 3rd and 4th were in the wall, but they kept it running.
And that number 2 high and wide there, trying to get past that 63 up in the 3rd position. Who is going to take it home here tonight? That number 2, Cameron Stefanski, easily out front, cruising to that Heat Race 2 victory. The battle for that transfer spot, the 63, Justin Henderson coming home 3rd. Tony Weed coming home in 2nd. Nicholas Mole, Stephen Borrow, Landon Falkenberg, Colton Wilson, and Johnny Cates rounding out that Heat Race number 2. Rolling over here to Heat Race 3. Do you got a idea how many Heat Races we're going to have? I'm not sure yet.
According to the system, it looks like there's going to be either 4 or 5 heats. I believe 5, and then a consolation.
Copy that. Yeah, I just can't see that information. Thank you for that, Kian.
I might be wrong, but that's the best I can view right now.
That's all right. That's all right. So we'll take a look here. Drop down to the field. If it'll let me, please. All right. That number 57, Jim Rivas, starting out front. Alexander Claypool in the 44, going to be to his outside. William Scott in the 29, starting there in 3rd. And in the 4th spot, Zachary Gay. In that 5th position, Jacob Stefanski, Brandon Rogers there in 6th. Looks like Alexander Claypool in that 44, unable to make the call. Not able to grid up there. That's unfortunate for that number 44 there. Going to be starting off with a big disadvantage there in that consolation.
Well, I mean, it's the street stocks. You never know how rowdy things are going to get. Maybe everyone 4th and on is going to wreck, and the 44 is going to have a straight shot straight to the feature. You never know.
That is very, very true. Definitely going to be arms out here tonight. Elbows up. Racing. Pace lights out on that pace truck. Jim Rivas and Zachary Gay in that 57 and that 007. Leading us to this green flag. You want to call this one there, Kian?
I got you, buddy. All right. Looks like Jim Rivas is going to be taking the pole position out of the draw. Pace truck is about to go to the bottom. Go on a pit road. Some of the outside guys are already getting some extra cushion dirt on their tires. And we are green for this 13. Oh, 007 is around. He lost his front end. We've already got a spin.
And that 007 around Zachary Gay. Out front, Jim Rivas in that 57 with a great jump there with an early lead. William Scott back here in the 29. Currently sitting there up in 2nd spot. I don't know if I can even see him there, Keen. He's camouflaged.
It's not even just camouflage, but he's darn near the same color as the dirt. So the only way I can see him right now is the orange on his numbers. But from what I can tell, he's pretty quick tonight.
Definitely up front there in that 29. The 37 making his way by Jacob Stefanski on the high side. You were talking about it early. That high line is where you're going to want to be.
Yep. Even with the slick, there's just too much momentum up there to be able to give up and be on the bottom. 29 is almost around. 78 got right into his rear.
Oh, 28 yellow flag is out.
Keeps up in the wall.
Heavy damage there. Let's take a look. Zachary Gay here bringing out the caution. I don't know why I brought that up. Let's go here, please. No? There we go. Told me the 00 Zachary Gay with a heavy impact here. I don't think that's what brought out our car. No, possibly. Yep. Coming around here in the back of the field. Is that what brought out our caution? Yeah, it looks like it. That other car coming. Yep. I think that is what brought it out. Let's bring it back one more time. Get a different view of that there. See what happened there.
I think
coming
he might have
out
just
of
gotten a
turn
little too
4.
loose in the slick. Maybe lost control.
Yeah, right there in the slick. Yeah, I think you called it there, Kian. And then that 29 absolutely getting obliterated. Can I find that one?
We were looking at two different things. The caution got brought out for the 007, but 29, I don't know if it was retaliatory or not, but he just sent a different car up into the outside wall.
Definitely a mixed bag. I don't know which one that was. I do think the 00 is who does 007 of Zachary Gay is who brought out that caution, but can't really tell here with the iRacing cautions. Single filing it back up here. Heat race number 3 getting ready to go back green. Jim Rivas, Jacob Stefanski, William Scott, Brandon Rogers here leading us to this restart. First caution flag here tonight. Green flag out in the air. That number 4 looking to the bottom. The 54 of Brandon Rogers to the bottom of the 29. I don't know if that's the move. The 29 going up the track, scraping that wall. I don't know if that car is handling very well. The 44 and the 54 making their way by on that bottom. I don't think that car is handling very well, that 29 right now, Kian.
No, I don't think so either. He's just got too much damage to deal with. Unless these two wreck each other going for the transfer spot, I think he's going to have to save it for the consolation.
As you touched on right there, the transfer spot is that battle. That number 29, William Scott, and the 54 of Brandon Rogers. So, Rogers got to keep that position above that 29 there. I think that 44, a lap down there, still racing for position. It shows me him in 6th position, even though he's up in front of a few other cars. So I think he's a lap down there, that number 44 of Alexander Claypool. He didn't get gridded there, so he had to start late. Out there making his appearance here in the heat race number 3. White flag out, checkered flag in the air across the stripe. The 29 with some more damage, making contact with that outside wall. Jim Rivas coming home with that one. Jacob Stefanski, Brandon Rogers, our drivers there transferring from that heat. Go ahead and show the results from
man.
that.
That was one heck of a race. I've never seen a yellow thrown for a heat on iRacing before. That's a first for me.
Yeah, unfortunately, those cars coming around. Definitely the smart move to throw it, but definitely not what you want to see, unfortunately. As we see these drivers making their way out on track, Hadley, of course, is going to mix my tower all up. So that 97 Shane Matthews out front. No, the 92 of Joshua Mulwee. Hadley Boyce, Shane Matthews, Jacob Harrell, Kevin Horner, Cody McDonald, and Cody Hoffman all in this heat race number 4 here. Pace light still on there. So next time we come by, pace car going to dive down there into pit lane.
I am excited to see this next one because if this heat goes anything like the last feature, we might see even more elbows out driving. And knowing how durable these street stocks are, I think it's safe to say there's gonna be some short track tempers tonight, especially in the feature.
And I did see over there in the chat, Tim Taylor shouting out there's going to be 5 heats and a couple B mains. So I guess that's going to be Joshua Mulway in that 92 with an awesome jump on that restart. Green flag out here on the start here on heat race number 4. The 97 and the 67, they're battling it 3 wide for 3rd. Nope, 2 wide as they come into 3 and 4. Is that high side going to prevail here, Kian?
It depends on if you can run it right. If you can just about catch that outside cushion, you can get that right rear tire caught up there, then you can really capture that momentum and get several spots easy. It just depends on how the guys up front are driving.
3 wide through turn 4 there. What a view. These drivers absolutely putting on a show here tonight.
26 just ate that inside wall. I don't know if you saw it. They're 4 wide or 3 wide for the transfer spot, almost 4 wide. There's beating and banging in the middle. They got elbows out tonight. 28 and the 92. They're banging doors right now.
3 wide there for the transfer position. That 97 on the outside with the advantage down the backstretch covers that position out front just a little bit. That 67 there behind Jacob Harrell jumping to that outside, trying to make his way past his number 28 and that number 87 on the bottom. 3 wide entering turn 3 there. That transferred position sitting with the 97, Shane Matthews. 3 laps remaining here in heat race 3. Things are heating up.
The 67 and 28 keep battling like that. The 97's not going to have anything to worry about. He's going to run
on the
away
wall,
with the final transfer spot.
Oh my God. Over the 26 on the back straightaway, Cody Hoffman. He just took a ride. Wow, I don't know if you caught that one, but wow. 2 laps remaining.
To see that. Wow.
No yellow coming out. The 121 and the 727. Hadley Bose trying to
97's
battle.
around.
Another car around here in the heat race. White flag out. No more cautions. Racing to this checkered flag. That 121 up 4 spots here. Kevin Horner looking for this heat race 4 win here.
28
coming
sending
around.
it for the final transfer spot.
Coming to the
barely
line.
got him.
That 97 on the high side with the run. Shane Matthews covering that 28. Cody McDonald, Joshua Mulway, Jacob Harrell, Cody Hoffman. Not having the night they wanted there in heat race number 4. Looks like we have made it here, Kian, to our final heat race here tonight. 5th heat race. Looks like we're going to move on to the consies after this one. 8 more laps. Trying to lock your position in to that feature race. The top 3 in each race locking their position in. We're going to do something a little bit different here on this one. We're going to jump back with that 05 of Jordan Gage and ride on board with him here on this start and just take a look in front of us of what these drivers are doing. As we see the 21 of Jacob Owens blinking out. Did he blink? Did he get to pits? I'm not sure what just happened. He's gone though. But leading out front, that 21 Jacob Owens, Jacob Jones, pair of Jacobs out front leading us off to this heat race 5. Cody Darnell sitting there in 3rd. James Gray, Dustin Burchett, Dakota Proud, and that 05 of Jordan Gage. Looks like he came back now. I think he had a big blink. Getting ready to go back. Green flag here for heat race number 5. Last heat race for the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series. A lot of action-packed racing here so far in the heat races. Kian, what do you think so far? This feature is going to be amazing, boss.
Absolutely, and if these heats have had any indicator, I think the feature is going to be some of the best door banging I've ever seen. Hopefully they keep it clean, though.
All right, getting ready to go. Green flag back out in the air. We ride on board with that 05 Gordon Gage, excuse me. Can't English today. They're on the bottom trying to get past that 75 of Dustin Burchett. Little bit of a different line there, hugging that bottom. A little bit of catfishing, like they like to call it, over here on the dirt track.
They're 3 wide for the transfer spot. 75 just sent 19 into the wall. They kept it clean. They're still running, but 19 definitely got a good chunk of that wall there. 4 wide for the transfer spot. He sent him around. 75 is around into the wall. Lost his front end. That might be a yellow. Never mind. There's no yellow. They towed it.
And the battle heating up there. The transfer spot, that 36, still side by side with that number 76 there. Looks like a lot of these numbers not matching here tonight, but that's okay. That transfer position to go to Proud in the 36 there. I think he's that number 19 machine. Fortunately, labeled incorrectly here, but nonetheless, up there in the transfer spot, this 76 trying to find his way around here. 4 laps left.
Something you might see these guys start to utilize a little bit more, especially in 3 and 4, is that middle line. The bottom and the top have been rubbered in so hard that the middle line is starting to become more valuable.
These lanes starting to get a little bit rubbered in. That high side getting worked out a little bit farther. You see that slick starting to form there as you enter turn 1 and 3. Interesting approach. These drivers all taking a little bit different of an approach. 2 laps remaining. The battle for this heat win here. That 800 down on the bottom with a slide job. The 05 with a crossover down the back. 2 laps left coming to that white flag. Jordan Gage and Cody Darnell swapping slide jobs here at Eldora for the Tommy Gun shootout. White flag out in the air.
That is tight. I think 05's got it.
The 05 with the run down the back. I don't think it's enough. Jordan Gage in that 05 coming home. Heat race number 5. Victor, Cody Darnell, Dakota Proud moving on to that feature. James Gray, Jacob Jones, Dustin Burkett, and Jacob Owens gonna have to find their way through one of these B-mains. And I want to give a big thank you to all the partners and sponsors at No Limit Racing that make it happen here for the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series. Here for the season opener, the Tommy Gun Shootout at Eldora. Big thank you to 51 Speed Performance, Henderson Amusement, CDM Motorsports, Infamous Sim Shots, Tadpole Racing League, Tommy Gun Customs, TNT Racing, Smith Deadly Designs, and big thank you to all our partners and sponsors here at Fearless Broadcasting. Big thank you to Push the Edge, Tier 1 Setup Shop. Make sure to go ahead and use code FEARLESS for 10% off over at Tier 1 Setup Shop. Thank you to Admin Box. Use code FEARLESS-BOX. That's FEARLESS-BOXX for 10% over on Admin Box also. Big thank you to Puffy Swag Shop, Goose's Rattle Can Shop, Fearless Enterprise, Fearless Motorsports, and, of course, Fearless Broadcasting, having myself, Greg Thielsen, and Keen Fry up here in the booth, bringing you all this Dirt Street Stock action for the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series. Looks like Evan Stavensky and Carson Cordley leading us off to this B-main green flag. James Gray, Stephen Barrow, Joshua Mulwee, Derek Darnell, Alexander Claypool, Cody Hoffman, Colton Wilson, Caleb Myers, and Dustin Burchett rounding out this B-main here. 12 laps here for the B-main. Kean, like you were talking about, elbows out, arms up. I expect much of the same here for the B-main. You got to make it to the feature. Let's see what these guys got. Let's bring it to the green here, Kean.
All right, pace car is about to come on down. 78's lagging behind a little bit. That's a surprise. He might be trying to get a jump, but the 22 green flag is out. He's going to get a great start for this second consi, or the first consi. Sorry.
And the field is out. B-main here. See who's out front. Evan Stefensky in that number 22. Definitely where he wants to be sitting. James Gray sitting in second. Carson Cordley. The battle behind him. Stephen Burrow and Joshua Mulwee side by side. Almost 3 wide there. Through 1 and 2. That high side definitely showing its prowess. All those drivers moving their way up the racetrack there, Kean.
Yeah, they're definitely making more use of the high side. 44 into the 86 and into the 92. They keep it straight, though. That was really close. 86 with the slide job on the 92.
The 44 slowing down the 4 around. Wow. Will that one bring out a yellow? That's a full spin there. No yellow yet.
I think they kept it running.
No yellow comes out. Evan Stefanski in that 22, leading us out front. That 76, James Gray. That bright blue machine. That battle for third, Stephen Barrow and Carson Cordley side by side down the front stretch there. The slide job, the 45. What a move. Slide jobs every single turn here. Just about, Keen. These drivers putting everything on the line here. 7 laps remain as they cross the stripe side by side throughout the back of the field here.
Yeah,
that 78
some yank it
around.
loose. Oh, big impact. Oh my goodness.
That might bring out a yellow. No yellow.
And it
Both
does.
cars. Yellow comes out. Let's take a look back at that one. A little bit of contact there entering turn 1 and 2. That 78. No, I don't know. He might not have made contact with that 45. Just getting loose there. Comes around. See that big contact here Kean was talking about? Ooh, that 24K of Colton Wilson absolutely making hard contact with that number 78. Let's take a look back at it one more time from a different angle. That was a hard lick. Wow.
Yeah, that was...
Oh, boy. Yeah, that was a hard lick right there.
Few more feet up the track, and that would have been a driver's side hit that just full-on T-bone. That could have been really bad.
So let's see if this top 10 will work now. Evan Stefanski going to be leading us off on this green flag. Jeffrey Hyatt, James Gray, Cameron Stefanski, and Jim Rivas are top 5 here.
One thing to keep note that for the consolation, it is not just the top 3 making it into the feature, it is the top 4. The top 4 will advance, but everyone else is going to be fighting for that position.
Top 5 fighting for that advance to the feature here in this B main. We got Tim Taylor in the chat. Go Stefan, Mad Aussie. I did see that Aussie flag there. Evan Stefanski in that 22 leading us off. Green flag in the air. Single file there as they fan out coming down 1 and 2. 3 wide. 4 wide down the backstretch momentarily there. 4 wide as they get back side by side. The 76 on the outside there of the 45. The 22 of Evan Stefanski with a comfortable lead. Pretty good gap there up front. About a 2/10 of a second lead. 3/10. 3 wide, possibly 4 wide. Coming out of 4. Key into contact. Oh my gosh, this is not going to end
86
well.
around. Oh, 4-car pile up at the top of the wall.
Wow, that was not what you want to see. Let's bring that one back. All right, riding on board with the 44, so we kind of get a good picture there. The 4 wide not working out there on the front stretch. The 45 coming around, collecting the 86. The 86 come around. The 26 involved. The 44 also just nowhere to go. Let's take another look.
26 just went right over the top of his trunk. I've never seen that before.
Was absolutely crazy right there. No. Let's see if I can find a good view of that. That'll be better. Let's back it back up.
Depending on how much damage they have, this thing might finish with only 3 or 4 cars running.
This consolation definitely taking out quite a few drivers. Wow. I don't know if you just watched that replay I just did, but oh my gosh. The 44 of Alexander Claypool finding himself back on pit lane. That 86. Cody Hoffman, the 26. Colton Wilson in that 24K. the 78 of Carson Coldley, at number 4 of Caleb Myers, all fighting themselves back on pit lane. The pace lights out there on the pace car. Looks like Evan Stefanski still out front. James Gray and Joshua Mulwee currently left out on the racetrack. I don't know if they can scrounge 2 more up to get their 5 to transfer. Looks like a few drivers making their way back out. We'll see what happens with that. Definitely going to want to bring that car back out there if you can, Kian.
Yeah, it is. I mean, at this point, if everyone else is out, even if your car is pretty much junk, if you can just limp it around back into 4th place to get that final transfer spot, that's really all you got to do at this point. You don't lose any laps by staying down under yellow to get the repair. So I'd say just get what you can and then just limp it around to the final transfer spot.
It looks like that number 44 pulling back out there into 86. Derek Darnley and Alexander Claypool limping those cars around. A little heavy damage to both of those vehicles. But as you said, definitely want to make it to that feature. So got to get back out there. Got to be in it to win it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know what those 2 cars... I don't know what those 2 cars back there are going to do, but they're getting desperate for 4th place, I'll tell you that much.
Definitely getting desperate times. The measures they're going to be taking here. I'm curious how desperate that is going to get here. Pace lights out. Pace car peeling back down to pit road here. Green flag back out in the air. The 22. Evan Stefanski leading all the laps so far, I believe. Here so far. Down on the bottom. I don't know if that was the right move. The 76. James Gray on the outside. Able to cover it, though. That middle working for the 22.
I think he's just trying to save his tires a little bit, not overspinning them, because if you can keep your tires intact, you can run the slick. It's just a little more risky.
Looks like he's getting a little bit of fresh dirt down there in 1 and 2, but through 3 and 4, it looks like he's just running right through that slick, man. That's a bold choice of line for that number 22, but he's out front, so I'm not going to question it. Making it work there. White flag in the air. The battle for that Consi win here. The 76 James Gray giving it everything he's got out there on the top side. Don't think it's going to be enough there, Kian.
Nope, it's not. And the 22 is going to bring home the win, followed by Gray, Milwee, and Darnell is going to get that final transfer spot.
Wow. Wrapping up the consolation number 1. Do we get one more consi here? Do we go into... Yep, at least one more.
I believe this is the final consolation, and then it will be into the A main feature for the night.
Awesome, awesome. So final consolation. So is it 4 from this one too?
Yep, it is the top 4 from this one.
So you heard it here, folks. Top 4 from this consolation transferring their way on to that feature event here.
I don't want to make any predictions, but I'm keeping my eye on the 29. Not necessarily because of speed, but I just remember how he was driving in that heat, and I don't think he was making too many friends out there, so I'm excited to see how people are going to return the favor if they race with him in that heat.
Interesting perspective there, Kian. And starting out front, Nicholas Mole in that number 2 machine, that 28 of Cody McDonald. To his outside, William Scott in the 29, the 51 of Chase DeRochi, Landon Falkenberg, Jacob Jones, Jacob Harrell, Tim Taylor, Zachary Gay, and Johnny Cates, Jacob Owens also out there. Pace lights out on the pace truck. Get ready for this final consolation here. See who can make it to that feature event here.
I'm gonna I'm going to go out on a limb and say we're going to see 4 wide within 2 laps of this thing, if it's anything like the first consolation. People are going to be
already
diving
a little
for the
bit of
bottom to get in
contact
front
there
of the 4th
coming
place
to the
car.
green. I don't know if you caught that. A little bit of contact, the 28 coming down on that number 2, the 2 of Nicholas Moll with a great start. Early advantage, green flag in the air. 3 wide already on lap 1.
Ooh, big one. 29's around. 29 spun into the wall hard. Caution's out.
And let's see. Take it back. Let's take a look at that one. Oh, no, the 29. Definitely with some heavy contact there. Oh. And he just stood on it, too. He got involved with other people. Let's take a look back at that. Ooh. Maybe they're just having a tough time seeing him out there, Kean. He's all camouflage, you know. I couldn't see him very well. Maybe these drivers out here, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. No, I'm just kidding. William Scott in that 29. I think he just gave it a little too much coming around there into 1, making contact with that number 67 of Jacob Harrell, sliding down the track, the 99. Tim Taylor setting him back up the track, narrowly avoiding that 120. But the 007, unfortunately, also making some contact. Zachary Gay. Quite a few cars involved in that one, Cam.
Yeah, there was more than I thought that were involved in that. I thought it was just the 29 and the 007, but I didn't even see that he got into the 67. I'm glad we have replay, because I wouldn't have caught that otherwise.
Yeah, so much action happening here with the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series here for the Tommy Gunn Shootout at Eldora. Once again, big thank you to all those partners and sponsors making it happen here. Looks like we're about to go back green flag. I'm going to jump back in that 73 on board. See if we can't watch this action unfold in front of us. Green flag out here. Kean, lead us to this lap.
All right, 21 is already 4 wide for the transfer position back. 99 is running all the way on the bottom. A couple of guys are on the top, but from that onboard view, seems like a lot of guys towards the back are starting to get a little more desperate and run that bottom to see if they can cut off the guys up top with their back bumper. But it's just, with how slick it is, it's not working as well as it was in those first few heats.
And down the backstretch, these cars still 2 and 3 wide here. 10 laps remaining here in the final consolation. The top 4 making it to that feature. 1 caution so far only. We can show that race recap. We haven't had too many with a caution. 1 caution, 3 laps. 4 of the 12 completed there. Nice little race tracker there on the bottom of our recap. It'll be nice there for the feature. Coming to 9 to go. Looks like Nicholas Moll out front. We're going to jump back out front with him. That number 2 car out front, the 28, Cody McDonald, sitting there in the 2nd position.
I don't know if you see what I'm seeing, but they are elbows out for 4th right now between the 021 and the green number 67. They've been door banging for the past 2 laps now. I don't think they're giving each other any favors.
Absolutely burning that top side down there. That 67 on the outside of the 21. Coming in there with a slide job. Another door bang, 3 wide. The 19, very lucky he didn't get involved in that one there. Jacob Harrell in that 67 up to the 4th spot with that little bit of door bang action there. Looks like he's sitting in that transfer position. 5 to go as we come to the line here, Kian. More door banging. He wants it back.
I was hearing over the radio, these guys are starting to give each other some payback. That door bang, bump and run. Well, almost a bump and run.
021 of Landon Falkenberg now getting the receiving end of that 67. They're on the bottom trying to make something work. That outside just too strong. Wheel to wheel, side to side. Able to keep a hold of it with the crossover, the 021 to the bottom. Able to get past that 67. This battle for the transfer spot absolutely heating up. Another slide job, a crossover.
One's around to the...
Almost. Did he catch that? Wow, the 67, another slide job.
There's more contact. 67's around.
Oh, the 73.
Right in front of 73.
Yellow flag making its way out there. Let's see. I think this is the one that caused the yellow flag, that 51 coming around there. Chase catching it. No, maybe not. Okay, maybe not. That will be that.
It. Or maybe.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait, I see what happened. It was the 67.
All right.
67 got contact for the transfer spot and then collected the 73.
Rewind that one more time. Jump over to this view. Let's see what happened here. Up with the 67. Big slide job on that 021. Heavy contact. Almost both coming around. He made his way around the 73. Heavy contact. Wow. Action-packed racing here at Eldora for the Tommy Gun Shootout. These Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series drivers absolutely putting on a show here tonight. Pace truck diving down pit lane. Nope. Yes. No. No. Was that a miscue there? What happened there?
I'm not sure what happened either, but there's contact under yellow. My goodness. I'm not entirely sure what happened.
Looks like the pace truck stayed out. That's interesting. Pace truck staying out there. Lights out on the pace truck. Nicholas Mole in this number 2. Cody McDonald in the 28. The 19 of Jacob Jones. Landon Falkenberg in that 021. And Tim Taylor in the 5th position, looking to get up into that transfer spot. Green flag is out. White flag. Green, white checkered here. Let's jump back for that battle for the transfer spot. The 021. That's who we got to keep our eye on. Can that 99, Tim Taylor, make his way by? White flag already in the air to the bottom. I don't think that he's got enough here.
There's going to be one big send on the last lap. I'm fairly confident of that.
White flag in the air. I thought that we already got the white, but okay. White flag out that time by. Can he get it done here? Looking for more. Is that 021 Landon Falkenberg trying to get past the 19 of Jacob Jones? Checkered flag in the air. Nicholas Mole, Cody McDonald, Jacob Jones, and Landon Falkenberg moving their way to that feature. Tim Taylor so close. And we are going to move over to warm-ups. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. Please go ahead and check out our partners and sponsors real quick. Give us a moment to catch a breather here. So much action here in the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series. Once again, Greg Thielsen up in the booth here with Key and Fry. We will be right back.
Looking to take your racing to the next level? You need speed and you need style. At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we'll help you hit the track with total confidence. We provide race-winning setups for all 3 eNASCAR series, Cup, Xfinity, and trucks, plus a huge variety of asphalt oval cars. We've also brought that performance to the dirt. Winged and non-winged sprint cars, micro sprints, dirt midgets, all built by racers who know how to win. And now, get the perfect look. We offer professional wraps and graphics with Tier 1 wraps. Multiple feature artists make it easy to find a design to fit your exact needs and budget. Get what you need when you need it with individual setup purchases, or get full weekly access with a Tier 1 subscription. Tier 1 Setup Shop. You're more than a customer, you're part of the team.
This isn't just another sim race, this isn't just another online league, and this isn't just another trophy on a shelf. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Drivers choose the charity. Talent chooses the winner. The culture is strong, but the competition is stronger. Most events focus on just one cause, not here. Each driver selects a charity to race for, leaving dozens of causes in contention as drivers fight for a place in the top 5.
Think you've got what it takes to join the Charity Cup Series? Find a cause you believe in and buckle up. This is more than your everyday sim racing experience. This is the Charity Cup Series.
real quick. Can you both stop real quick? Double check the steering wheel. Control.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Calm out there. Nice and smooth. Let's get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
It's too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
He knew it was just a matter of time when Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa. Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
And welcome back here to the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series here with Greg Thielsen and Kian Fry for Fearless Broadcasting here for the Tommy Gun Shootout at Eldora. Absolutely putting on a show for us here. The heat races, absolutely amazing. The Constellation heating things up there. I just can't believe how much action they've been giving us here at the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series there, Kian.
Yeah, I mean, I expected some elbows out, especially in the street stocks, but my goodness, 4 wide in these things. I know it's Eldora, but I've never seen a bunch of drivers drive so hard for so long. And for the most part, they were able to keep it together, but those couple of cautions, man, they were hard cautions, I'll tell you that much.
Definitely some hard contact as those elbows come up. The contact definitely started getting heavier as the race went on. I'm going to bring up that race info here one more time before we jump into the feature. Once again, here at Eldora for the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series for the Tommy Gun Shootout by No Limit Racing, presented by No Limit Racing, excuse me. A little 3/8 mile Eldora Speedway. This place absolutely putting on one heck of a show for us here tonight. Want to give a big thank you to all the partners and sponsors there at No Limit Racing, making this happen. 51 Speed Performance, Henderson Amusement, CDM Motorsports, Infamous Sim Shots, Tadpole Racing League, Tommy Gun Customs, TNT Racing, and Smith Deadly Designs. Want to give a big thank you to all of our partners and sponsors here at Fearless Broadcasting. Thank you to Push the Edge, Tier 1 Setup Shop. Make sure to use code FEARLESS for 10% off over at Tier 1 Setup Shop. Thank you to Admin Box. You can use code FEARLESS-BOX. That's FEARLESS-BOXX for 10% off over at Admin Box. And then a big thank you to Juicy Spider Studios, Puffy Swag Shop, Goose's Rattle Can Shop, Fearless Enterprise, Fearless Motorsports, and of course, Fearless Broadcasting. Such a pleasure up here in the booth. Hey, Kian, you want to let me know the first 11 drivers?
Yeah, let me just pull up the results tab here so I can have an accurate portrayal. There it is. Let's see. We got the hold on. We got the 66 of Jeffrey Hyatt in first. In second, we have the 02 of Cameron Stefanski. In third, we have Kevin Horner in the 121. In fourth, we have Jim Reeves, the 57. In fifth, we have Brian Gunderson in the 80 car. In sixth, we have Jordan Gage. 7th, Jacob Stefanski. 8th, Cody Darnell. In 9th, Tony Weed. In 10th, Hadley Boyce. And then in 11th, the 04 of Zachary Martin.
And in that 11th spot, Hadley Boyce, Shane Matthews, Zachary Martin, Evan Stefanski, Brandon Rogers, James Gray, Dakota Proud, Nicholas Mole, Cody McDonald, Landon Falkenberg, Brian Gunderson, and Sorry, the tower is absolutely freaking out right now. While we're under
my
these
iRacing's
racing
freaking
laps.
out a little bit too. I couldn't call the drivers out correctly. I apologize for that.
Yeah, so sorry about that. As we get ready to go, green flag here for the feature. The Tommy Gun shootout at Eldora about to go. Green flag here. 65 laps. Green here at Eldora. Let's go. Side by side, 3 wide already. As we go down into turn 1 and to the lights. Dropping down low, the sun. Giving us some beautiful views here, Kian. Such a beautiful sunset here at Eldora for the Tommy Gun shootout.
Yeah, I love the side of the track, but with how dusty it is, it's going to be hard for both the drivers and the fans to really see anything out there right now.
Jeffrey Hyatt in that 66, still out in front. On the bottom side is that number 02, Cameron Stefanski, trying to get by that 121 of Kevin Horner and the 05 of Jordan Gage, all battling for this top 4 spots, all side by side here. Jim Revis also in the conversation. Jacob Stefanski also right there. Excuse me for those pronunciations. Coming down through turns 3 and 4 there. Or turns 1 and 2. Big contact down on the backstretch to 89 across the field. Yellow.
Ooh, that's a massive pile up. That is a massive pile up.
Let's take a look back at that. It looks like the 90 coming down the backstretch. A good run down the center. Probably, there we go, the 800 making some contact, shooting them up the racetrack. Heavy contact into that 81, I believe. No, that's the 97. Then down, heavy contact into the wall and the 22. The 2 also involved. That's Evan Stefanski, Nicholas Mole, and Brian Gunderson, all not faring well in that first caution here in the feature. Take a look back one more time. Here, full speed, the 800 making some contact with that 80. The 97 involved, the 22 also getting involved heavily. The 2 also back there. That's really unfortunate. First caution flag coming out. Not sure if these drivers have a fast repair here tonight. I don't think so. I think there's no fast repair, so definitely not what they wanted. The 800, they're stopping on the racetrack, it looks like. Not sure what that's about.
I think they might have had to just let everybody by because they might have gotten caught a lap down before he
very
pulled
true.
out the yellow.
As we see the field rolling through here, I'm going to start this green flag run here. This next restart off with a crank it up segment. We're going to crank up those engine volume. Me and Keen are going to be a little quiet. We're going to let these street stocks engines do all the talking there for us. What do you think about that, Keen? Get to listen to this horsepower roar here at Eldora for the Tommy Gun shootout here with the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series. Lights out on the pace car. Cameron Stefanski,
I always loved watching
Jeffrey
Crank
Hyatt.
It Up as a kid. I can't wait to watch it now.
One of my favorite segments. Cameron Stefanski, Jeffrey Hyatt, Jordan Gage, and Kevin Horner leading us off. Let me go ahead and jump to a crank it up. Yellow flag coming out there. Kevin Horner making some contact there. Let's bring it back. Hope you guys liked a little bit of that crank it up action. Go ahead and crank it back down before I forget. See what happened here on the outside there. That 05, the 121 making contact, coming around. That's that 121 of Kevin Horner making some contact along with that inner wall there outside of turn 2, or inside of turn 2, excuse me. Take a look back one more time. Let's get a little bit different of a view. See, did he just throw it in there a little too hard in the slick right there? Making contact with the 05. I think the 05 hit the slick. Had a big lift. Fortunately, Kevin Horner with nowhere to go. Second caution out here for the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series Tommy Gun Shootout at Eldora. Our season opener here, lap 9 out of our 65 scheduled laps here so far. 2 lead changes. Jim Revis currently out front. Hopefully cautions, not breeding cautions here anymore, Kian. Go ahead and take us to this green flag. It looks like pace lights out on the pace car. Jim Revis and Haley Bross leading us to this green flag.
Yep, and I don't know if you can see, but the track is pretty well black by now. It's rubbered in pretty well. Green flag. A lot of drivers are going to start fading up to the, or not fading up, but just going up to the outside line to get a taste of that cushion. See if they can keep that momentum and gain a couple positions.
3 wide down the backstretch.
Around the backstretch, hard into the inside wall.
That is the number 727 of Haley Bosch. Able to get it back running. Do we stay green? No, we went caution. So let's take a look back at that. Ooh, a little bit of help there across the nose there of the 19. Let's go a little bit farther back. We didn't get the full picture there on that one. Can't quite tell if he came down. Whoop, hit play, come on. Thank you. Oh, it looks like the 19 coming up on the 727. Heavy contact coming around off the nose there of the 19, Jacob Jones. Quite a few cautions, breeding cautions there, Ken.
Yep, and I'm not in the position to be race controller administrator of these series, but in my opinion, I feel like that last incident was more of a racing deal. They just met at just the right pace, just the right place, at just the right time on the track for one of them to go spinning. And I know even if it was somebody's fault, either way, it wasn't intentional at all. It was just hard racing gone wrong. It's street stocks. What are you gonna do?
Definitely agree with you there. Bodied, fendered cars out here on the dirt. It just leads to a little rubbing, and you know what, son? Rubbing is racing.
That's right.
Coming out of turn 4 here. Looks like we're getting ready to go back green. Jeffrey Hyatt, Cameron Stefensky. I can't pronounce nobody's names tonight. Looks like pace light's still out, actually, not coming to the green.
They're lagging behind the pace truck a bit.
Yeah, that confused me. I thought the pace truck dived in because it wasn't there. But pace light's now out on that pace truck. The 66, Jeffrey Hyatt, out in front. That 02 of Cameron Stefensky and Jordan Gage. Jim Revis, Jacob Stefensky, all in the top 5. Those Stefensky brothers, cousins, whatever, if they're related, both doing really good here tonight. Green flag coming out. That 66 trying to block that nose off, get a good run there into turn 1 on the high side. 4 wide throughout the field there. Side by
I can see a couple of guys using that high line. Maybe not too much, but they are definitely riding with danger right now. They are almost painting the outside wall with their right side fenders right now.
I think that's what it's going to take to move forward there, Ken. That outside line, get the momentum. The only way you're going to get past these drivers. As we saw, that 92 kind of got choked up there on the high line. The 121 of Landon Falkenberg down the front backstretch. Just not letting him pass him on the high side there. Maybe not the move, I don't know. This battle heating up here, the 76 with a little bump from the 121. Jumping back a little farther, 3 wide for that third position. That 57 of Jim Rivas and the 02 of Cameron Stefanski. He's on the bottom. Looks like the top side with the momentum down the backstretch.
Middle line's getting a little more momentum in 3 and 4, but the high line definitely dominant in 1 and 2, and as the night goes on, it's going to get even more dominant in 3 and 4. Big contact going into 1 and 2. One's around, almost around. Nope, they're around. Big contact on the backstretch.
Around. Caution coming out there. James Gray in that 76.
I thought they saved it there for a second.
Almost spun the 28 off his nose. The 28 able to regain it, making some hard contact with the 121 up the racetrack, getting that 76 there spun around. And who was that hard into the wall? That's the 727. Hadley, let's take a look back from his perspective. Kind of minding his own business. Him and the 77 just getting collected with that 121 there. 76 in himself with the heaviest damage there. Not what they wanted to start this night here really early in the going. I'm very surprised that these drivers are actually going this hard this early. We're only 14 laps into 65 lap feature here. If you end up there back on pit road with a damaged car, you're not going to be able to finish. To win the race, first you must finish. Some of these drivers must think they got 9 lives. Some cats out here driving these race cars. What do you think?
I think we might be seeing a little bit of a mixture of Joey Logano and Dale Earnhardt out here, except they're just straight up running people over instead of just a bump and run. But I can't really hold it against him. His street stock's on a short track. I've seen it a million times in real life. I'm sort of surprised that they're going at it this hard this early, but in real life they've gone at it hard throughout the whole race as well. So I guess it's not too far off from the real thing, is it?
No, you are totally correct. Not far off. These fendered street stocks definitely tend to get to being a bit of contact here throughout the race. Hopefully these drivers are able to keep the contact up. I like the contact, but these yellows, let's not bring out a yellow if we can.
Yeah, I'd like to see how the grooves play out after long green flag run. These guys keep the guys that are running the slick. If they're able to control the throttle, they can run the slick, but over a green flag run, that's just going to kill your tires. So I like to see how that running the slick strategy is going to play out after everybody spreads out a little bit, see how well their tires hold up.
A lot of these drivers right there on the edge of grip, trying to find that good patch of clay here at Eldora, right between the slick there and the cushion. Coming back to this green flag, Jeffrey Hyatt still out front, Jordan Gage, Jim Rivas, Jacob Stefanski, Cameron Stefanski now side by side there, Tony Weed, Brandon Rogers, Joshua Mulwey, and Justin Henderson. Cody McDonald rounding out our top 10 here. Looking forward to what these drivers can do here for the rest of this race. I'm looking forward to a green flag run. I want a green flag run here, Keenan. I want to see, just like you said, if this slick, make those tires fall off. See how many of these drivers jump up to that top side. Green flag back out here at Eldora for the Tommy Gunn Shootout. Round 1 here for the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series. That 05 of Jordan Gage on the high side, down the backstretch, trying to power his way past that number 66 of Jeffrey Hyatt.
66 is making the bottom work, but I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to do that. The High Line just has too much momentum. 23 and the L5 are almost bump drafting each other to the front ahead of the 66 right now.
Back through the field, 3 and 4 wide action here through 3 and 4. The battle heating up through the mid of the field. These drivers you see getting quite a bit sideways. That slick growing wider and wider every single lap. Gotta love it. Dirt track racing here on iRacing. The dynamic track that we have here in iRacing is such a awesome feature here for dirt and our dirt oval racers. That 05 still out front, making his way.
That was close.
So many cars side by side here. I don't even know where to focus the camera. The battle's all over the racetrack.
My camera's darting everywhere right now. I set it to focus on crashes, and it's going all through the field. There's bump and runs. There's door banging. I can't hardly keep up.
The 54
one car's
around the
1 and
22.
2.
The 04 involved. Started there with the 22. As we see, he already had no nose. I don't expect that machine. Let's jump back here. I don't expect that machine was handling too good there. On the top side, we see that 22, the 121 making contact there. Unfortunately, the 04 and the 22 just nowhere to go. The 54 making heavy contact with that 121. The 76 also involved there. Let's take it back one more time. Take a different view of that one. Let's jump up with the 76. Just know where to go. Oh, the 777 also involved in that contact. I didn't see that the first time by. Wow, he got lucky. 04 didn't get more involved there. Wow. At 22, trying to check that steering's all right there. Back in pit lane, you see those steering wheels back and forth, left and right. Not quite sure. Maybe a little bit of frustration there from that 22 of Evan Stefanski. Up front for a bunch of this race here. Started off in 16th. Currently back there in 20th. Getting it back out there. Good to see that. Pace lights out on the pace car. Lead them off to the green here, Kian.
Yep, and I don't know if you could tell, but on that little green flag run, the 66, he's back in 5th right now after being in 1st place. So that bottom line, I'm sure it's helping keeping his tires if he's not running the slick. I couldn't quite tell if he was running the slick or not, but that bottom, it just does not have the momentum that the top side does. It can help with slide jobs, but if you want to maintain your position at this point, you got to keep it up top. Otherwise, you're going to fall like a rock.
Getting ready to go back. Green flag here. Jacob Stefanski, Jordan Gage, Cameron Stefanski, Jim Rivas, and Joshua Mulwee. Our top 5 here. Take us to this green flag here.
All right, pace car is coming down. Lights are off. We are green at Eldora once again. 05 gets a great run. And if I were a betting man, I'd say he's going to shoot straight to the top line. Nope, he's on the bottom. That's a surprise. A lot of guys going up top already.
Side-by-side action throughout the field here. These battles absolutely heating up. 3 wide everywhere I look.
There's 3, 4 wide. 05's kind of doing a alternate line. He's going 1 and 2. 1 and 2, he's running the bottom, but 3 and 4, he's trying to get up front and stay and go to the high side. Maybe he's changing it up just to save a little tire. I don't know, but it's working for him.
See that 727 making a bit of contact with that 800. Caught that one. Luckily, both drivers able to keep it trucking. That 05 finally moving his way up to the top there out front. Jordan Gage in front of that 37. Jacob Stefanski, Cameron Stefanski in that number 02 right behind. That battle for the lead. I want to see that thing heat up. Let's see some green flag laps here. That bottom definitely falling off there. There's nothing left there on the bottom, Kian.
Yeah, there's hardly anything. It could help with a slide job or two, but The guys that are running the top, they're just running away with it. I mean, the top 5, they're basically in a single file parade right now. They're just hoping this thing stays green so they can get their points and run away with the gap for the lead.
Lap 22 here, complete of the 65. A lot of action remaining, not even halfway here in the feature. The action jam-packed already. You see the 727 drop to the bottom there. Quite heavy damage on that 727. A few of those drivers using that wall to get that street stock turn here tonight.
There he goes
see
again,
that
63.
Yep, that Justin Henderson, 63. Definitely finding out where that back of the car is, where that wall is. It looks like it helped, though. That wall tap helped with the speed, I'll tell you what.
Drivers on the comms getting a little bit upset with some other drivers in the field. I couldn't tell exactly what, but there's definitely some short track tempers starting to flare right now as the race goes on. 63 in the wall again. Not too hard, but he's just keeping it straight right now.
That 63 almost using that wall as a cushion there. Is that cushion even falling off? Down the backstretch, the 92, heavy contact into that wall there. Real curious what these drivers gonna do here. Out front, that 05 still that lead group of the first 3, Jacob Gage, Jacob Stefanski, Cameron Stefanski, making their way out front quite a bit there. Saw that gap back to 4th building.
It looks like the first bit of lap traffic is about half a track length ahead. They have damage, but pretty soon, and I'd say in about 10-15 laps, they're going to start coming up on lap traffic. That may shake up how the front 3 are looking, depending on how they can manage the traffic.
And here back with that 021 Landon Falkenberg, going to pull up our little telemetry here. Little interesting view. 4th gear around this whole racetrack. About 5,600 RPM through the turns. I saw him turning about 6,100 down the back stretch there. Down the front stretch. 6,500 down the back there. About 80 miles an hour. Not quite as fast as, say, a sprint car or a dirt late model around this place, like a Super or a 410. But these dirt street stocks, so much fun to drive, especially around a driver's racetrack like this Eldora Speedway here. Jumping out front, I noticed something that our second place driver, Jacob Stefanski, in 3rd gear right now, not in 4th gear. Interesting. Maybe a little trick set up here for Eldora. One of those advantages of having that telemetry here. See, normally I'd keep that car in 4th all the way around this racetrack, but Stefanski, definitely a different idea here in that number 37.
That is very surprising to see. I've never heard of a strategy to have it in 3rd gear around Eldora, but he's a podium sitter right now. I can't really argue with the results.
And jumping up front with our race leader, Jordan Gage, also in 3rd. So interesting. That might just be a setup detail that they got worked up around Eldora. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but it's working.
Definitely working at these guys out front. Absolutely building a gap to that 3rd place now of that 02 Cameron Stefanski. That gap now building a 1.5 back to 2nd, another 2.25 back to 3rd. Doing what they got to do up front there. The battles still happening throughout the racetrack here, though.
Well, you're not really seeing 3 and 4 wide anymore. Everyone's kind of spread out. They're kind of starting to realize they need to keep to that high side to keep the momentum. But at this point, with how slicked out the track is, it's all about throttle control and keeping good care of those tires, because the better you take care of those tires without running them through the slick, the more you'll have for the end in case there's a late restart, or if someone in front of you just used up all their stuff running through the slick, you'll be able to catch up to them and get by without hardly even any effort, just keeping it straight.
That high side, as we talked about so many times here tonight, proving to be where you want to be here with that dirt street stock. These drivers bouncing off the wall, just trying to keep that thing as high as they can in that fresh, packed clay up there in the berm on the cushion. I see so much action here around Eldora. Once again, thank you to all our partners and sponsors here with the No Limit Racing League and their Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series here for the Tommy Gun Shootout at Eldora. Big thank you to their partners and sponsors at 51 Speed Performance, Henderson Amusement, CDM Motorsports, Infamous Sim Shots, Tadpole Racing League, Tommy Gun Customs, TNT Racing, Smith Deadly Designs. Thank you guys for everything you do for No Limit Racing. Want to give a big thank you to everyone, all our partners and sponsors here at Fearless Broadcasting. Thank you to Push the Edge, Tier 1 Setup Shop, Admin Box, Juicy Spider Studio, Puffy Swag Shop, Goose's Rattle Can Shop, Fearless Enterprise, Fearless Motorsports, and of course Fearless Broadcasting. Yellow flag back out here. Looks like Jacob Jones coming around. Let's take a look back here. That number 19, Jacob Jones. Nope, not the cause of that caution. That's going to be, wow.
One of them went airborne. Well, almost airborne. He had two tires off the ground.
Leave. Nope, wasn't him. Oh, that 19 did get involved, though. I do think that is what brought out the caution. Let's rewind it back. Sorry, trying to find out what happened here. Looks like the 19. Yeah. Not sure what happened there. That's different. Yeah,
I think someone just got slow. Yeah, they just got slow on the top side and can't really brake that well in the slick. It's just gonna end. It's gonna feel like a hydroplane. You can't hardly stop. So, unfortunate for the 19. He was having a really good run, but just caught up in a slower car's misfortune, and that's just how stock car racing goes sometimes, especially in the dirt.
And we saw a great green flag run there. 44 laps now complete. Jordan Gage, now our leader up front. 6 caution here tonight. 3 green flag lead changes. Things are heating up here, Ken.
Yeah.
I think these drivers know that the end is coming.
Yeah, they're starting to get a little more aggressive, but I'm really glad to have seen a long green flag run like that. That really made me smile, I'll admit. I really wanted to see some green flag running. Pace truck is off, green flag is out. Once again, a great start from the 05.
2 wide, 3 wide as we enter 1 and 2. That high side, it looked like a train. So many cars packed up there. On the high side, no, a big wreck. Oh, that's the big one. That is the big one. A lot of cars involved here in this one. Wow. Let me take you guys back. What a big one here, Ken. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I think there was just it all started with the slide job gone wrong, and then it was just a domino effect. Nobody could stop in the slick, and next thing you know, everybody's piling in for the big one at Eldora.
Oh my gosh, so many cars involved here. The 22 heavily damaged there, the 28, the 52, the 66, that 19, the 2 also badly damaged. Take one more look at that from a different perspective. Oh my gosh, man, that was carnage. Let me go ahead and play there.
I took out quite a few of the front runners now that I'm looking at it. That took out about 3, 4. I think 5 cars got involved, but I think only 2 of them got terminal or almost terminal damage. 28 definitely had some hard contact that cut off his front nose, but there were so many strong drivers involved in that. I'm pretty sure there's only maybe 15 cars on the lead lap now. Everyone else is either out of the race or a lap down, so that's going to be tough to deal with, especially with all the damaged cars being lap traffic pretty soon. It's going to be interesting to see how the leaders deal with that, depending on how everyone else is running their line.
Definitely going to come down to this here. Jordan Gage. I keep messing that up. I want to say Jeff Gordon so bad. Green flag. Back out. Jordan Gage and Jacob Stefanski, Tony Weed, Landon Falkenberg, Hadley, Boyce all up front in the top 5, trying to get this first race win here on this season. Through 3 and 4, 3 wide throughout the middle of the field. These drivers putting everything on the line. That high side just so dominant. Those drivers on the bottom, you see, having a little bit of luck down the backstretch, grabbing that tacky dirt there on the bottom, but you got to hit it just right there.
I think a lot of these guys, the ones that got stuck on the bottom on that restart, they're staying low so that they don't cause an incident, and then just waiting for that just big enough gap to go up top, and then doing like half a slide job where they're not trying to pass necessarily. They were just waiting for a gap so that they can get that momentum on the high line.
As we take a look back out front, that 05 Jordan Gage, 44 laps led in that 05, having a stellar night here. That 23 sitting in second, Jacob Stefanski trying to battle his way up to that top spot here. 19.
We got a 5-car battle for the top 10 right now. Sorry to cut you off, but they are going 3 and 4 wide in the back right now.
What a battle. 5 wide. The 63 on the bottom. Definitely 3 wide. They figure it out. Don't want to go 5 wide here. 4 wide possibility. Down the back. Nope. They figure it back out 2 wide. These drivers absolutely doing everything that they can to get that next position. What a race here tonight.
Holy cow. I mean, these guys are fighting for just about every point they can get, and I mean, 1 point can be the difference between a championship and runner-up. So, you know, maybe one of these guys in the lower half of the top 10 right now, they might have strong runnings for the rest of the season, and that one top 10 that'll give them the extra points to win the championship. You never know.
Back out front, that 021 sitting there in third spot. Up the bank there, down the backstretch. Little contact with the wall. A lot of contact involved here tonight. 14 laps remaining. Things are coming down to the wire. Jordan Gage, Jacob Stefanski, Landon Falkenberg out front. Tony Weed sitting in fourth. Oh, as I just said his name, sideways, he goes around the 727, making contact with them. A few more there in the back. Dakota Proud. Jeffrey Hyatt coming around there. Wow. Let's take this one back. Our 8th caution here tonight. See if we can find where that one happened. I think the 727 dived it in there, made some contact here with that 45. Around they go.
I mean, the 45 came down a little bit, but oh my gosh.
Wow, we're going to back this one up. We want to see what happened here. Because this was a secondary incident. But this was a little bit worse, it appears. No, we missed that. Super missed that. Back that back up. Come on now. There we go. So the 66 also making some contact with the 800. The 86 and the 19 also involved the 76. Wow. So much going on. It's hard to capture it all, Kian. It's hard.
Yeah, it's getting pretty hard to keep track of everything, especially with the laps winding down. What are we at? 11?
55 here, 10 to go as it stands. So it looks like probably about 9 or 8 to go once we get back green flag racing. I'm really a little bit more thankful for that long green flag run. Got to do a little crank it up. That's always cool. Hope you guys loved that segment. Always loved that as a kid, just like you said, man. That's a cool little time. Get to watch the race cars, hear those engines roar. Us commentators are pretty cool, but sometimes I just want to hear that engine, you know? Sometimes, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's why everybody tunes in to watch the cars, right?
Not for us, no. Ed, getting ready to get going back green here. Those lights on the pace car out. Jordan Gage and Jacob Stefanski. Landon Falkenberg, Tony Weed, Haley Boyce out front. Once again, Greg Thielsen up in the booth, Fearless Broadcasting. Super stoked to have Kian Fry up here with me here tonight. It's been a pleasure with you, man. Look forward to having you up here more, buddy.
I really appreciate that, man. I was really just hoping I didn't put up a stinker for my first broadcast, but so far it's been a lot of fun. I just hope we can finish this thing off strong and hopefully get some good interviews to wrap this thing up after it's all said and done.
Definitely might be some interesting perspectives after this one. I'm going to think a lot of these front runners, though, having a pretty good night, not involved in too much up here. So I don't know if they're going to have too much to say about that, but getting ready to go back green here. Super excited. Here, the Tommy Gun shootout at Eldora to kick it off here at the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series. Green flag back out here. The 8th caution complete. Let's get back racing here, Kian. 3 wide, the 4 in the wall. That was the 2, excuse me. 3 wide down the backstretch. That 22 on the outside. The 92 through the middle. I don't know if that bottom's going to work there. We'll see. Got to slide the 92, but contact with the 22. A big blink. Don't know what's going to happen there. That might get dangerous.
44 with a slide job for third. Or 49, sorry. 45. I'm getting my numbers mixed up. I can't tell from here.
They all
There's a
look
slide
the
job for
same.
third. 121 giving him payback.
That 05.
021.
Still out front. That number 37, Jacob Stefanski, on his back bumper here. This thing is heating up here. I'm going to jump on that battle for the race lead here. 9 laps remaining here, Kian, around Eldora.
Yeah, there's going to be some guys in the finish in the top 10 with broken front and rear fenders. That's going to be the most amazing part of this. But I can't wait to see what the lead battle is going to look like, as there's 4 cars in the wall towards the back of the pack, but they keep it straight. They are really abusing that cushion. There might not be any cushion left by the end of this race.
As you see the dirt piling up there on the noses, these drivers out here for 56 laps here now, getting ready to come down to the end. 65 laps here tonight at Eldora for the Tommy Gun shootout to kick off the season here at the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series. What a night. These drivers absolutely putting on a show for us. That 37, Jacob Stefanski, trying everything he can to get that 05 to make a mistake. Jordan Gage out front. Doesn't look like he's trying to give up that race lead here.
This is reminding me a lot of Darlington back at the Dodge Dealers 400 in 2003, I believe it was. He gets such a good run out of 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4, it's the lead is, or in 1 and 2 the leads shoot up, but then 3 and 4 he gets a little bit of a gap. But with that run he gets in 1 and 2, he might be able to pull his slide job towards the last few laps of this thing if the 05 gives him the room on the bottom, but I don't think he's going to.
and out of turn 4 there. 5 to go. 5 laps left here for the Tommy Gunn shootout. Who is it going to be, Jordan Gage or Jacob Stefanski? That 05 looking strong out front here all night. He's blocking that slide job, doing everything right now. He's got to make a mistake, I think, there, Kian, for Jacob to have a chance there.
Yeah, absolutely. At this point, with the 05 going to the bottom every time, I think the 37, he might be able to get a little something going if he fakes him out and go to the top line in these last few laps instead of going to the bottom in 3 and 4 every time. But the 05 might even predict that. You never know.
The 05 crossed the line, this time 2 to go. 2 laps remaining here, Kian. He's using all of that bottom side, using the slider line, riding all the way back up to the cushion, out of turn 4. 2 laps left here. The battle for the lead looks so exciting here. Can Jacob Stefanski in that 37 get it done? That's what I want to know.
I think he might have just given himself a little wheel damage getting into the outside. I think that's too big of a gap for him to reel in. White flag. 05 has about a half-second gap on him now. I don't think the 37's got it. I think the 05 might have this one.
Jordan Gage in that 05, up 4 from that starting spot there in 5th. Around turn 4 here, currently first. Checkered flag out here for the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series Tommy Gunn shootout at Eldora. Jordan Gage, that 05, getting it done here tonight. That 37 labeled as the 23. Jacob Stefanski coming home in that second position. What a great job by these drivers. That 45, Tony Weed, bringing it home third. Let's check out that leader bringing it home up to the finishing right there to that winner's podium there. What a great job here by these drivers. Absolute barn burner here at Eldora. These drivers putting on one heck of a show. I want to thank our sponsors really quick. We're going to go to some commercials while we round up these podium finishers. I want to give a big thank you to No Limit Racing League sponsors: 51 Speed Performance, Henderson Amusement, CDM Motorsports, Infamous Sim Shots, Tadpole Racing League, and Tadpole Racing League will be awarding our hard charger here tonight. So big shout out to them. Tommy Gunn Customs, TNT Racing, and Smith Deadly Designs. Thank you, Smith Deadly Designs. They're going to be handing out that Hard Luck Award. Gonna make sure we get to see who those are here tonight. Big thank you to our partners and sponsors here at Fearless Broadcasting. Thank you to Push the Edge, Tier 1 Setup Shop. Be sure to use code FEARLESS for 10% off. Admin Box, use code FEARLESS-BOX with BOXX for 10% off over at Admin Box. Thank you to Juicy Spider Studio, Puffy Swag Shop, Goose's Rattle Can Shop, Fearless Enterprise, Fearless Motorsports, and of course, Fearless Broadcasting. Me and Kian are going to hop over, get these drivers. We're going to be right back. Hang out. We'll be back with our driver interviews in one moment.
Looking to take your racing to the next level? You need speed and you need style. At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we'll help you hit the track with total confidence. We provide race-winning setups for all 3 eNASCAR series, Cup, Xfinity, and trucks, plus a huge variety of asphalt oval cars. We've also brought that performance to the dirt. Winged and non-winged sprint cars, micro sprints, dirt midgets, all built by racers who know how to win. And now, get the perfect look. We offer professional wraps and graphics with Tier 1 wraps. Multiple feature artists make it easy to find a design to fit your exact needs and budget. Get what you need when you need it with individual setup purchases, or get full weekly access with a Tier 1 subscription. Tier 1 Setup Shop, You're more than a customer, you're part of the team.
This isn't just another sim race, this isn't just another online league, and this isn't just another trophy on a shelf. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Drivers choose the charity. Talent chooses the winner. The culture is strong, but the competition is stronger. Most events focus on just one cause, not here. Each driver selects a charity to race for, leaving dozens of causes in contention as drivers fight for a place in the top 5.
Think you've got what it takes to join the Charity Cup Series? Find a cause you believe in and buckle up. This is more than your everyday sim racing experience. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Real quick, you both stop the real quick cut. Double check the steering wheel. Roll.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Nice and smooth. Get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
It's too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
He knew it was just a matter of time when Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa. Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
And we are here tonight with our race winner, Jordan Gage, coming home on top in that 0-5. Hey, buddy, you got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Jordan, what a race you put together here tonight, leading a bunch of laps out here tonight. Give me a little perspective of how that race went for you behind that driver's steering wheel.
I wasn't too keen on drawing literally the highest pill there was to draw for the heat race. So we started like 7th, but lucky enough, some guy like exited his car or something, so we got to start 5th. But yeah, I just knew winning that heat race, especially being in heat 5, was pretty important. So once we got that done, I was kind of more comfortable because I'd rather race when it's slick out than when it's tacky. But, you know, Jeffrey set the pace there early on, and I was just kind of sitting there biding my time and whatnot. And then I don't know. I'm not one to save tires, so I kind of got a little bored and just started ripping the wall down. So I don't know. We got around Jeffrey, and then Jacob Stefanski, man, he kept us honest the whole time. Me and him, I kept looking down at the standings, and me and him kept trading lap times. And I was like, dude, this guy's keeping me so honest right now. I was like, I haven't been in that predicament in a while. You know, it's a lot of fun to do that, but, you know, it's way more comfortable to be winning by 5 seconds or something like that.
Definitely. So, a little bit about that. We saw early on you were heavy through the middle. We saw that track kind of got pushed up a little high. That slick just grew so big there in the feature. Tell me about that decision to kind of keep through the middle there and then work up high there at the end.
The middle was just a little bit browner than the outside. The outside was still kind of like black compared to the middle. So I just kind of rode through there. I mean, it's 65 laps. You know, you ain't going to win it on the first lap anyway. So you might as well just bide your time and try to get up there as clean as possible. And I feel like we did that. But yeah, once that lane moved up to the top, I felt really good. And I know Jacob was really good at Eldora and at the top at Eldora. So, but yeah, I mean, I'll give one guy credit that I never want to give credit, Tyler. I mean, I just ran his line in 3 and 4. You know, I don't get to race a whole lot, but I do my homework and watch broadcasts. So I just kind of ran with that line, and I was like, well, Jacob's going to have one option to slide me in. That's turn 1. I know you can't really slide in turn 1. So I just kind of figured I was set running that line.
Yeah, that was an interesting line there at the end. Hey, Keen, you got anything for him?
Yeah, I didn't quite see where you started in the feature, but all those cautions that came out over the course of the race, how did that did that alter your strategy at all for, trying to get up front and hold on to it? Were you glad that so many cautions came out, or were you hoping for more green flag racing?
I was hoping, well, it's early on when I wasn't like when I was in fifth or third or whatever, I wanted the cautions just because you can pass on the starts and whatnot. But, when you're leading and you have those 7 restarts, Jacob's good enough that he's going to time one of them at least. And, I'd rather it go green and me and him race it out. But, it is what it is. And I still had a lot of fun.
Awesome, man.
Well, great job here tonight, coming home on that top spot for the Tommy Gun Shootout at Eldora, the season opener for the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series. Who do you got to thank here tonight, buddy?
First and foremost, got to thank all the boys over at Cocky Floyd Consulting. Also got to thank Gage Farms, Get a Bumper Motorsports, KR1, EGR, all the sextons in the kennel and everybody else that hangs out in the kennel over there. Yeah, and that's about it.
Awesome job there tonight, buddy. We're going to let you go and celebrate. Once again, congratulations on coming home on that top spot here tonight, buddy.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Have a great one, man. Until next time.
Yep.
Look forward to seeing what you can do the rest of the season, boss.
Yeah, I'm hoping to make all of them.
Great. Awesome. Cool. All right. Bye-bye, buddy. And we're going to grab Jacob Stefanski up here in the booth. That driver coming home in P2 tonight in that number 37. Jacob, how was that drive for you here tonight, buddy?
It was great. I mean, it was a little bit hairy at the beginning of the race, just trying to everyone give each other room, but once I was able to get behind Jordan, I mean, we just kind of set sail. I mean, he was real fast, and there were a couple points where I didn't think I had anything for him, genuinely. But then the car kind of came to me towards the end of the race, and by the time I got to him, I just didn't have a move that I could get on him that would have been clean, and I wasn't about to do that. I haven't been on in months racing dirt street stocks. It's been quite a while since I ran them, but it felt good to get back out there.
Absolutely killer job bringing it home P2 if it's been a few months since you've been behind a wheel of one of these things. So I got a little different of a question. What was your favorite moment here from tonight's race? You got a moment that sticks out in your mind like that was a fun time during the race here tonight?
Honestly, the big awesome moment for me was being able to have the speed that Jordan had, because Jordan is one of the fastest dirt street stack guys on the sim. So to be able to kind of hang with him speed wise, especially in an open set league, like I was not expecting to have that speed. I'm typically pretty quick at Eldora, but to be able to hang with someone who's one of the fastest guys on the sim, that it felt pretty dang good.
Keen, you got anything?
Yeah, we talked about a little bit with Jordan about how many yellows came out. I didn't quite see where you started either, but were you able to kind of just stay up front and avoid everything, or did you have to avoid any of the wrecks that came out? And how did the yellows affect your strategy tonight?
Thankfully, they didn't end up really affecting me too much. I knew there was going to be a few of them after watching the heats. So my strategy was get as close to the front as I can before it starts happening. And luckily I was able to get up to 4th from 8th before the first one came. And then at that point, like there were a few really early sliders thrown that some of the guys were doing, and I kept lifting out of it, just trying to keep the car clean. And thankfully, ended with 0x, no incident points, and just kind of had to let the field settle. That was pretty much the strategy, though, for me.
Absolute great job, man.
We got time for one more question, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't even think to ask Jordan this. What do you have a strategy for the full season, trying to stay consistent and hopefully win the championship? Are you aiming for just absolutely dominant wins, or are you going to try to, kind of sneak your way to the top with top fives and top tens and just try to be ruthlessly consistent instead of, instead of trying to dominate every race as much as you can? What's your strategy there?
My strategy is probably honestly, I've always been consistent. So that'll probably more so be it. I've never been the guy to go out and, roll off 5, 6 wins in a season. But I'd like to be consistent, and my goal for the season is to get back to having decent speed while also being clean. Before I took some time off of the sim, running dirt street stocks because I love running them, but I just was struggling and not being able to get on a lot. It really hurt my speed, and I just had to get better with my car awareness. And it felt really good tonight. I felt like I did a good job of that tonight, and that's really the goal for the whole season. If I can stay consistent, not get in any trouble, not cause any issues, and just have some fun, that'd be a successful season to me.
All right. That sounds good, man. Can't wait to see what you do for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, Jacob, before we let you go, you got anybody to thank there, buddy?
I gotta thank my wife for letting me do this. Sunrise Racing, PJ Auto Car and Trailer Sales, WB Creative Designs, always making my cars look good. And y'all for putting on the broadcast and the league.
Appreciate it there, Jacob. Congratulations one more time on that P2 place here tonight. Coming home, second great run for you. Have a great rest of your night. Go ahead and celebrate that, buddy. That was a great run. We look forward to seeing you the rest of the season, pal.
Thank you. You guys do.
All right. And our final podium position here will be that P3 number 45 of Tony Weed here coming home third at the Tommy Gun Shootout at Eldora for the season opener of Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series. Do you got me there, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
So I asked both of your fellow podium place drivers, give me a little rundown from your perspective. What you see out of that windshield?
At first, it was a lot of chaos going back and forth with the cautions. Really didn't think we were ever going to finish this race, to be honest with you. But once we got rolling, we finally got some laps in, and then it got pretty slick. At the end, I thought I was going to throw it away, bouncing off the walls because running the high side, I hate running the one line tracks. It doesn't make for good racing. But if you could run a cut down line, it was working a little bit, but people are also coming in sliding up, so you had to watch out for that too.
A long, arduous race here tonight at Eldora. A lot of cautions here. Of course, the fendered street stocks tend to get a little bit of contact throughout the night. A lot of drivers able to save it. A lot of big incidents that did not go caution that I thought very well could have tonight. Did that change your strategy there tonight a little bit?
The cautions usually bring out more cautions, so every time one came out, yeah, it changed everything. Every restart, everybody's piled back up, so that first corner's always could be chaos, but it seemed to work out towards the end. We got a lot of laps in.
That long, real good green flag run through the middle. Were you electing up on that top side the most of that run there? I seen a lot of cars driving through that middle, right through the slick, and just burning those tires. Saw a lot of tire smoke out there. Did you try your hand through that slick there, or how'd that go for you?
I tried both. I tried through the slick. I tried through the slider line. I tried running the top. I tried running the cut down. I mean, I was going anywhere I could get some grip. But once we got rolling, Jordan and Jacob, they pulled a pretty good gap. So it was about impossible to catch up to them unless they made a mistake. But they ran a good race.
Kian, you got anything for Tony here?
Yeah. Given how tonight's race went, what's your strategy for the rest of the season to have either a good points finish or to just completely win the championship? Are you going to try to be more consistent, maybe play it a little bit safer, or are you going to go for more of a dominant season and make sure you're up there towards the top every week?
To be honest with you, being on the podium every week would be ideal, but I know that's not really going to happen. There's a lot of crashes in these cars, especially if we go to smaller tracks. I haven't really looked at the schedule too much, but the smaller tracks typically get a little more beating and banging. But um, consistent. That's what I'm planning on doing, is just be consistent and see where we end up.
Looking like
All
we
right.
are heading to I-55 next week. So that's going to be a little interesting. Federated I-55 Raceway for 75 laps next week there, Tony. What do you think about that? What's the plan for next week then?
Try to get a good setup to run 75 laps with. It's going to be slick, so try to get something that can make it through the whole race. Really, stay out of the crashes.
You got anything else, Keen?
Nope, that's all for me.
Awesome, man. Tony Weed bringing that number 45 home third here tonight. You got anybody to thank there, buddy?
Yeah, Twisted Speed setups, Two Brothers Motorsports, 4-5 Motorsports, and appreciate you guys putting this on and broadcasting it.
Well, thank you very much there, Tony. Great performance here tonight. Look forward to seeing you the rest of the season. Till next time, congratulations on that podium finish here tonight, buddy.
Appreciate it.
All right. And it looks like that's a wrap here for the Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series and the Tommy Gun Shootout at Eldora season opener. Keen, that was such a fun race. So much action, man. A few cautions, but kind of expected that here with these cars. What do you think post race? What do you think about how this all transpired?
Well, I definitely expected some elbows out racing tonight. I didn't expect that much in the feature, especially early on. But I'm glad that, things got sorted out for the most part. We had a clean finish. We had a good green flag run. I think it was a couple of them actually, but um, that's just, I'd say that race had a little bit of everything for what especially short track dirt racing is all about. Just elbows out, slide jobs everywhere, and well, once you're out front, you don't have to worry about all the stuff that goes on in the back, and the podium finishers definitely showed that. So I'm really happy for them. That was a great race to watch.
Absolutely great race. So I've got the race results pulled up. If you could for me, can you find out for sure our hardest charger there that's going to be awarded by Tadpole Racing League, and our hard luck with Smith Deadly Designs there with Dana? Go ahead and ask him for me if you could. I'm going to go over a little bit of these finishing results. Jordan Gage coming out on top, 49 laps led out here today. Definitely a pretty dominant performance by him. Jacob Stefensky right on his heels, only a half second back this podium. Absolutely doing a great job. Tony Weed coming in third through almost 3 seconds back. Those front two drivers just absolutely running away with this thing here at the end. So what I've got here for my hardest charger, we'll see if it aligns. But up 19 spots, Landon Falkenberg finishing in that 4th position, starting in 23rd. I'm guessing that's going to be our Tadpole Racing Lead hard charger, but that's only provisionally. We're going to definitely confirm that with Dana over in the Discord. Jordan Gage coming home with those most laps led with the 49 laps that he did lead. The fastest lap as well, a 19:0.45 in that Cocky Floyd Consulting number 05. Jeffrey Hyatt started off on the pole, came home P8 here tonight. We went our scheduled 65 laps here tonight. No green, white, checkered overtime. Ended up finishing on that scheduled 65th lap. had 3 different green flag lead changes with 3 different leaders. Few different drivers getting out front there tonight. Kian, did you get confirmation on that by any chance?
I sent him a message, but I have not gotten anything back from him yet.
That's all right. We can still hang out just a little bit longer. I just want to confirm that here first. I'm not entirely sure who the Hard Luck Award is going to get. Smith Deadly Designs going to be awarding that Hard Luck Award. I'm going to say that hardest charger is going to go to Landon Falkenberg. So Landon Falkenberg, congratulations for that Tadpole Racing League Hard Charger Award. We're going to go ahead and give that one out. I haven't seen anything, and that is the hardest charger, up 19 spots, finishing in that 4th spot. I think that's deserving. What do you think there, Kian?
I'd say that's pretty deserving. And although I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, I'd say the hard luck driver is probably going to be the one who finished P20 after starting in the top 5. I think it was Kevin Horner. Yeah, Kevin Horner, he finished 20th and he started in 4th. So if he's not the hard luck driver, I don't know who is.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Kevin Horner in that number 121. I saw him involved in a few of those incidents. So yeah, we're gonna go with that 121. Kevin Horner coming home with that Smith Deadly Designs Hard Luck Award here at the Tommy Gun Shootout at Eldora. The Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series coming to a close for the season opener. Kian, it's been such an amazing time calling this race here with you tonight. I look forward to working with you again. Definitely had a good time. You got anybody to thank there for yourself personally?
Any of my friends and family who might be watching, Josh, my grandparents, Zero, any of my other racing teammates in the other leagues that I do, just anyone who happened to come out and in spirit, hold my hand while I'm doing this for the first time. I just hope that anyone who tuned in enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed commentating.
Yeah, absolutely had a great time here. I know it's your first time. Didn't say that too many times on the broadcast because honestly, I couldn't tell. I really could not tell there. No, it's not even just sugarcoating it. Did an absolute bang up job here tonight. I'm going to go ahead and thank our sponsors that made it all happen here one more time. And then we're going to say goodbye to Kian. Thank you to the sponsors that make No Luck Racing League possible. 51 Speed Performance, Henderson Amusement, CDM Motorsports, Infamous Sim Shots, Tadpole Racing League. Big thank you to them for that Hard Charger Award. Once again, going out there to Landon Falkenberg. Thank you to Tommy Gun Customs, TNT Racing, Smith Deadly Designs with that Hard Luck Award. Going out there to Kevin Horner in that 121. Big thank you to all the partners and sponsors at Fearless Broadcasting that make it happen here. Big thank you to Push the Edge, Tier 1 Setup Shop. So make sure you go check out the best setups for iRacing over at Tier 1 Setup Shop. Use code FEARLESS, FEARLESS, 10% off over there. Big thank you to Admin Box. You can use code FEARLESS-BOX. That's FEARLESS-BOXX for 10% off as well over at Admin Box. Thank you to Juicy Spider Studios, Puffy Swag Shop, Goose's Rattle Can Shop, Fearless Enterprise, Fearless Motorsports, and again, Fearless Broadcasting. Once again, Greg Thielsen up in the booth here tonight. Kian Fry, hope you had a great time here on your first broadcast. Look forward to working with you again there, buddy. Once again.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it too. I had a blast. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Once again, thank you for everybody who stopped by live. If you're still here with us, thank you so much. Checking us out here live, checking us out on the recorded video. If you made it this far, you are a real one, I promise. Thank you guys so much. And until next time for the No Limit Racing League Henderson Amusement Dirt Street Stock Series That was the Tommy Gun Shootout at Eldora. Thank you to all the drivers, fans, sponsors, partners, everybody that made this happen. Thank you, Keen. And that was Greg Teal. So until next time, excuse me. Until next time, stay fast and stay fearless.
Looking to take your racing to the next level? You need speed and you need style. At Tier 1 Setup Shop, we'll help you hit the track with total confidence. We provide race-winning setups for all three eNASCAR series, Cup, Xfinity, and trucks, plus a huge variety of asphalt oval cars. We've also brought that performance to the dirt. Winged and non-winged sprint cars, micro sprints, dirt midgets, all built by racers who know how to win. And now, get the perfect look. We offer professional wraps and graphics with Tier 1 wraps. Multiple feature artists make it easy to find a design to fit your exact needs and budget. Get what you need when you need it with individual setup purchases, or get full weekly access with a Tier 1 subscription. Tier 1 Setup Shop. You're more than a customer, you're part of the team.
This isn't just another sim race, this isn't just another online league, and this isn't just another trophy on a shelf. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Drivers choose the charity. Talent chooses the winner. The culture is strong, but the competition is stronger. Most events focus on just one cause, not here. Each driver selects a charity to race for, leaving dozens of causes in contention as drivers fight for a place in the top 5.
Think you've got what it takes to join the Charity Cup Series? Find a cause you believe in and buckle up. This is more than your everyday sim racing experience. This is the Charity Cup Series.
Real quick, people stop the real quick cut. Double check the steering wheel. Roll.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Nice and smooth. Let's get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
It's too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
He knew it was just a matter of time when Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa. Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.